What is up? Today we have a Ford Fusion. We're going to be doing Limo Tint all the way around except for the windshield. Nothing on the windshield today. Hope you all are doing good. I've done quite a few Fusions on stream, so just a recap on what to watch out for. All right, so as far as this back window goes, there used to be this section right here that would pinch right at the very bottom. That is not the case on the modern ones. You got quarters, back windows that have this little bevel. We've gone over that before. Nothing crazy there. Again, the tighter quarter windows. Those are the only thing that you have to worry about really with the front. Everything else is going to be pretty standard. Canon. The white shirt screams, "Stain me." Oh, I know. We just cracked it open for the stream. But the problem is we have black vehicles, and then I wear dark, right? So we're mixing it up. Tint Wiz sent these hoodies over, so we're gonna wear a bright white hoodie, and hopefully we're not gonna spill coffee on it. But you're absolutely right. Wearing white and tinting through a day, you're gonna wreck it. But we're doing limo, so we might as well have some fun. Hey Matt, my dealer is having a special on 80% ceramic. The only thing is 20 by 100. That is definitely not uncommon. A 20 by 100 foot roll of 80% is much more common because they usually sell bigger rolls to cover windshields and stuff. It's a much harder sell to do 80% on the front doors. But yeah, it's definitely a nice thing to have around, but good luck on your end trying to sell it to people. That's the only thing. Not a lot of people go with 80 on the front doors. We'll be doing an Acura TLX soon. Anything to watch out for? I actually don't know what a TLX even is. I could tell you from looking at a picture of it, for the most part. Seems pretty straightforward. Oh, actually reminds me of a lot of the Lexus then, huh? The front doors. They have this little tighter spot, it looks like, on the front. That would be my only concern, is those front doors. Everything else should be pretty straightforward. Might be some tighter seals overall, but those front doors, it's very reminiscent of what Lexus does on the front of theirs. Where do you buy the white tape to outline the dot matrix? That is this stuff right here. This is called Glass Aid. You can find it at mytintstuff.com. Sun Distributing, Tint Depot, and that's it. Those three places. You think it's even worth getting it? Or you think I'm better off getting a 60 and cutting it? No, well, I mean, just do the math. Ask them how much the 20 is and a 40 together, like a 20-inch and then the 40, and then see what it costs. Like, just break it down. I was watching your other videos, got a notification when you were live. Good deal. Hope all is well with the Bambino. Yeah, everything's going well, which is nice. We've gotten a little bit more sleep. Things are settling in a little bit better. What are you bullish on? Oh, I'm playing it to the GME meme. GameStop to the moon. And it took an absolute nosedive this morning still, like it has been. Learned a lot from you starting my own business now. Hope all is well. Bought all your tools on your site. Oh, very cool. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, things are going well. When's next baby? You know, yeah, that's immediately like what my dad says. Like, you have one kid and then people are like, when are you having another one? It's like, well, you just had one. You were wondering about the first one, now you're wondering about another one. It just never is enough. I sold all my shares and got out once it peaked. You are a smart man. Yeah, it's funny to see the whole just, it's a complete, it's just, they've been played out a million times. The only thing is there might be another surge, but it's now going to take a lot of a lot of hype to get it back up there, and there's already been so many things that have caused hype. So likely to not happen at this point, but we'll see. Elon just tweeted Dogecoin. Yeah, I know. I was watching that in the background. It's funny how, like, it's the same thing. It's just like a handful of people hype it up, and then you're lucky enough if you're in it, if you were following it, and then you catch one of those waves. And then cross your fingers long term. Does ceramic do better on glass versus classic off GeoShield? Does ceramic do better on glass? Glasses? What do you mean? Well, ceramic's going to give you more heat rejection. The Pro Classic is not going to give you as much heat rejection. They're both good films, though. Depends on what your budget's for. Just got my whole Explorer tinted, and now I have a big airbag light. I love the Fords. Ooh, that's not good. I've never tinted an Explorer and had an airbag light. That is something that, if you had it tinted at a shop, that is something that usually falls on the shop because they might have sprayed too much water or not covered something up as much. Lunchtime stream. Is it that time? It is that time. Okay, good deal. We're going to go ahead and get started. Backlash for shrinking? Oh, the Classic Pro and the ceramic shrink really similarly. The carbon is the only one that shrinks a little bit slower. Put money in on Google, YouTube going up and up. Those are good long-term ones for sure. I mean, they're proven and they keep dominating industry or like segment after segment, or Amazon with their new verticals of like pharmaceuticals and stuff. I've been following it. I followed penny stocks for a long time, and now I've watched Nasdaq stocks become penny stocks, and I'm just kind of like, okay. So I'm following some of it right now. It's just hilarious to see how much this all blew up. Thanks to your videos, I went from 1 car to 5 to 10 in a day. My dude, that is awesome. I like the white hoodie. Do you use Tint Wiz for your CRM? Yes, I do. All my invoices are through Tint Wiz, and they sent me some. They've been sending out people a whole bunch of stuff, which is super cool. Yeah, I like the white too, and I'm really sad because this is probably one of the only times we're going to be able to use it on stream. Because once you use a hoodie for a tint day, then it like white becomes trashed very quickly. But we have black. We always have dark cars, so wearing white is something, it's good contrast. All right, so we got to put this on. Oh my God. And then we got to get started. So let's put this there. What do you think? You think this is enough? This is probably enough. Then we got hat hair. It's cold, man. It's supposed to get colder. We've been like chilling in the 20s. Where's the balloon? Balloon is a no-go right now. We have a customer waiting up front, so I'm sorry. Oh, this one. This is what I need. Tint. Super chat. What was I going to say? Tint chat? I don't know what I was going to say. Super chat. Dom with the 5. I'm glad you caught me right here. We'll start it off for you, bro. I got the blue squiggly 2-gallon spray tank hose on the from Tint Depot. Will that attach to a 3-gallon or just a 2-gallon? No, so for the tint kegs. Thank you so much for the 5, by the way. So the type of keg doesn't really matter. It's the connectors that are on top. So let me show you. Actually, let's do this. Let's get started. GoPro. All right. So this is the tint keg that I have, and these are the connectors. So these are called ball lock connectors. There's 2 types. There's ball lock and there's pin lock. They don't make pin lock anymore, but if you get an old tank, it could have it. So these connectors are sized for 2 inlets right now. You usually have an in and an out that are 2 different sizes. So, but if you have a ball lock connector, it should be able to connect to the one. Hope that's helpful. Turn on the heater. Oh, it's been on. It's been on ever since I got here. It just runs and runs and runs. Thanks for the stream. I do two cars a day now. I do 2 cars a day, then I'm busy watching videos the whole day. That's awesome. Glad to hear it, man. That's cool. A few people saying that they've sped up. Time to order new tint tools. Yeah, man. All right, let's go. GoPro. Good deal. All right, so we're going to be doing Limo. Yeah, so more more shit on my head is right. So what we've had to do was we've had to take a external battery pack and power the GoPro that way, and hopefully it's going to last the whole stream. What I thought before was we'd be able to power the GoPro and then hot swap a battery still, or it would last long enough to not have to be replaced, but that is not the case. We still have to unfortunately put a bigger battery pack on. That's just the way of it. Oh, why am I putting that down? Let's wipe off all the windows. I have a miner's helmet to add to your head. No, please. I think I have enough at this point. I should have squeegeed that. I wiped it off because it had some crap on the back, but I should probably just squeegee it too. It usually works out a little better. Yeah, we're very dark today. So we're doing Limo on black. Are there any little tools I should pick up? Not that I know of. Nothing new or that special. I have a custom squeegee that's coming that'll be out soon. So look out for that. But other than that, no. Tinting tools, they only become so exciting. There's really not that much that changes. Cool. That keeps the smears off. No, we don't need that. We need this. That's what we're trying to do. So when we put the glass aid on, that's going to stick a little bit better. So I haven't really talked about this in a while. So I guess we can probably talk about it now. I've been using it for a long time, so a lot of people know what it is. But I have yet to make an actual video with it. So maybe while we're doing this right now, we'll just kind of talk about how to use it, what it is, and why I like it. So, as you saw, this is called Glass Aid. It is my own little creation, full disclaimer there. It is a 10 mil thick tape that was cut down very thin, 1/4 inch wide. It's just not something that existed. And the reason I like it is, one, it's white. So when you line the outside of the matrix border, you can see it underneath the film. That usually goes down to like 20% in good lighting. Other than that, you kind of need an actual light to shine through the film, which we're going to be doing Limo on this, so you'll be able to see that shortly. And you can cut on the tape. So why would we do that? Well, it's to keep the glass safe. Glass is getting cheaper, and you never know when you're going to, even with light pressure, you never know when you're going to put a little scratch in it, especially against a black border. So always cut with stainless steel blades. But when you get to the back glass, a lot of the time your doors aren't on a black background. They are if you go Limo, but this especially, you really will be able to see it. So I've been there, I've done it, I've scratched plenty of them, and I got sick of it. So if you are in any type of a mobile condition where you don't really have glass boards to cut out on, this is a pretty good solution. There's a couple of old school tricks out there, like a button and whatnot. Those still all require a light, but this, I don't know, I like it. So we're gonna head, we clean off the outside first, then we tape it, and then we apply our dry shrinking method solution of choice. Then we'll come back to it with 5%. Just figured I'd throw that out there. All right, so let's grab our 5. We have a brand new 5 today. I don't know what I have left in my old box, but it felt pretty light, so I just grabbed this one. We should probably make sure our light's going to be charged too, because that is likely going to die. Gently. What was the purple guy I just used? What purple guy? I didn't use the purple guy. So, beginning of a roll, sometimes I will just hack off. We can use this for the quarters if we really want to. But sometimes tape lines can leave little air pockets and stuff. So we're still going to get 5 to cover the quarters anyways, but we have front quarters too, so keeping that spare. But that little tape line, sometimes I don't feel comfortable unless I know for sure there's nothing there. So depends on the tape that is used. Let's do the quarters too. Tint Wiz Tri-Edge cards back in stock? Oh, that's cool. Oh, the purple bag. I'm sorry. It was purple. You know, my mind went immediately to like the purple squeegees. So that was, the purple bag was actually dry shrink prep. We actually made a video talking about it a little bit more. So if you look at one of my recent shrinking videos, you'll be able to know a little bit more about how it compares to like dryer sheets and stuff like that. But it's good. I like it. It's called dry shrink prep. Okay, so that. Let's get our doors then, right? We need to start cutting that. Let's turn the key on. Let's make sure the radio's off so we don't get demonetized. Turn that off. Turn the lights off. Turn the beep off. Make sure we don't lock ourselves out of the car, because that would suck, right? And then we should be good to go. Who remember when Tint Wiz gifted everybody purple tri-edges? Dude, yeah, that was awesome. And they've still, like, an unbelievable amount of stuff to the community. So they've done towels on the stream, and if you hang out in the Facebook group, you'll like they're sending out mugs. They send out like full big nice travel mugs. They use those towels lately, squeegees. They have these custom purple. I have it somewhere. Is it hard to find 30-degree stainless steel blades? These are the latest. These ones and the angled ones. Tint Wiz have been sending these out to everybody, which is super cool. I like these a lot. Yeah, big towels, small towels, and the squeegees has been cool. Oh, as far as 30-degree stainless steel blades go, they don't they don't make 30-degree in stainless steel. Only carbon steel. They make the 60-degree ones. So if there's anybody that wants to start a blade business, go do that. I think there's Pro Series that has 30-degree, but they were like $10 or $20 for 10 of them. It was really expensive. I don't think it's quite tinter economical yet. But I did see somebody at least had them. We almost connected our cut. We fell a little short there. There we go. We fixed it. Whew. Is the GeoShield roll 36 or 40? It's a 36. You can do 36 on most everything. So most cars, 36-inch, split it in half. Then you got 18 per door, which is less than 20 per door. GME to the moon. Even though it's sinking. Yes, GME to the moon. What was I talking about? Roll sizes? Yeah, this is a 36 though. They work great on most things, and then you can get away with like a 20 on most trucks and SUVs, except the new Sierras, the new GM trucks, so that Silverados too, and then F-150s, but they still work for Rams. What is that device sitting behind the stool? What device? I don't know. There's devices all over the place. There's floaty cameras. Could I go over to staging? Yeah, I could definitely try and do that. It's something I definitely should talk about a little bit more. This would be a good car to talk about it on. I just sometimes get caught up talking about other stuff, and then I tint the door, and I'm like, ah, damn it, I forgot. Here we go, a little bit there. We should definitely have a video on it, though, because I see a lot of questions about it, and I've taught people how to do it. And I will say, it is not the most straightforward thing in the world to try and teach somebody. The easier thing is to bottom load, but then you have to get past taking apart door panels. So that is up to you. Where to fold and tuck the film in, we can definitely talk about that. It finally, like, our mild winter has come to an end. It is now, it's more in the 20s. It actually spiked back up to like the 30s. But it's going to drop down, I think, to like the low single digits very soon. To staging. That is definitely something we need to talk about. So I was wondering what video I should make off of this. I'm glad you guys seem to like the cut down videos that I post on the channel right now. That's been a big help. We should probably do one on double cutting as well. But every video is a double cutting video. This fusion gives you trouble because of tight seals. This one's actually not bad. In the grand scheme of cars out there, the fusions are like pretty middle of the road. Which is, to me, is pretty crazy, right? Like, well, I guess, I don't know. Fords, most domestic cars are pretty middle of the road. Like, they're not that difficult. It's when you get into, like, some German, good old German engineering. We're going to move this farther over because that'll cover up our gap. We learned that. What happened to the orange, or the flat out? We tried the flat out for a while, and I like it. I still use the flat outs. I just swapped it out for an orange crush. Here we go. Yeah, I like the flat out more than the orange crush. We've just been giving the orange crush a good run for its money. There's still a lot of people that recommend it, and I'm remembering why I don't like it as much. But when I swap out a blade, I'm lazy to swap it out again, so that's why we still have it. We good? Good. We still covered. God, we had to go so far over. All right, now like I said with cutting on like glass, you still need 60 stainless. It would be safer to cut these out on the glass boards, for sure. But door windows are a little different from back windows. Do I put a new blade on for the top edge? No, not all the time. Usually you go through blades pretty quick, so it just depends on how much you've been using the blade. So you're like, usually I only go like this far out on a blade when I'm using it. Sometimes I'll put it out farther, but you make like little mental notes of where you're cutting and where you're dulling the blade. And then you'll just notice it'll start to grab a lot harder and not cut as easily. So then you just snap more blade off or change it out or whatever. You don't need to do it with absolutely every cut, but you'll go through on a car, you'll pretty much go through a good chunk of a blade on one car. Whoa, what is that? Oh, Twitch has spam. What is that? Sorry. There we go. What film is that? This we are using Pro Classic by GeoShield. All right, so shrinking. Where is my heat gun? There's my heat gun. You know, I can't really put my head down as fast anymore. I'm limiting my mobility. Also, It's digging my glasses into my ears a little bit. We'll get used to it. Have you used any other brands? Oh, yes. Plenty. So I started with Lumar. Then when I went, let's see, what did we do? Used GeoShield years ago, back when it was Dark Matter. God, what a cool name that was too. Used Flex Film. Used ASWF. Used some Suntech. Used some Solar Guard. Used Avery Dennison / Haneda. Used some sample rolls. Don't count those as much, but those are most of the ones that I've used for an extended period of time. Helios. Yeah, I've used quite a few different films. It's the only way, like, and for one reason or another, I've had to switch. It usually comes down to film failures that you end up switching. Explain that method of shrinking. Oh, but we're done. It's called snap shrinking. You just snap it. Just heat up the bottom, you watch it curl, and then you get it all to lay down. There's actually, like, I have dedicated videos on the topic too. We can talk about it in another stream though, but it's already done. It's already done. Why you don't stick with flex film? There's a bunch of film failures coming back to my my dad's company right now from Flex. They kind of suck. Yeah, just post in the group. I don't want to clown on something for too long, but just go post in the group and ask, and you'll get a. There's some brands where you get a lot of negative opinions about. That is one of them. I like what they did for pushing awareness for nano ceramics and stuff like that, and bringing it more to market. But yeah, if it's trash, it's trash. Okay, what do we need? And, like, every company's gonna have some issues, but I saw this really interesting thing too. There was an actual mod in one of the groups with Flex also is a mod in that same group. He started installing them in 2018 and got ghosted by the company when they started having problem after problem and dropped them. So be your best friend when you're ordering from them, but it's usually not the case after the fact. Canon. Have you ever done mobile window tinting? Yeah, a bunch. Actually, the last 5 years have been mobile tinting. Mobile tinting is pretty, like, I like to partner up with shops. I don't necessarily like to run to house to house to house, so I would recommend doing that. But yes, I'm very familiar with mobile tinting. Did he ban you from the group? Yeah, I got banned from most groups. For one reason or another. GoPro. Yeah, it's kind of funny. I posted their own video and then I got banned from that group. All right. We can talk about that maybe another time. What we're going to talk about right now is two-stage or top-loading installation. We're going to be going over it on a couple of different windows here right after the super chat. All right, 1 second. Canon. Oh, Alligator. What's up, buddy? Alligator with a 5. That means you're doing something right. I think so. I really appreciate that. Yeah, it was, oh God, the drama from before in the groups was something intense, for sure. It was really dumb. It's so dumb. It's window tinting. There doesn't need to be that much drama. All right, let's go talk about two-stage. No, GoPro. Okay, all right. No, we don't. The reason we don't have the balloon right now is we got somebody waiting up front. So I don't want to scare the bejesus out of people. All right. So we're going to be talking about two-staging versus bottom loading. And we're going to talk about... No, we're not. We're not. We're going to be talking... Sorry, let me say that again. All right. So today we're going to be talking about two-staging, or as some people like to call it, top loading. I just always knew it as installing window tint. It wasn't until much later that I was made aware that some people called it one thing versus the other, and that there was two major styles of tinting. I do things this way because this is the way that I learned how to do them. There is nothing wrong with doing them a different way. The whole point is to get film on the glass in a clean, efficient manner so your customers are happy and everybody has a good day. So, the reason I don't like to take everything apart is because I'm not great at taking everything apart, and I never really learned. So, I learned a more universal approach. So, we're going to be talking about how to keep that cleaner and where I grab the film and what I do. So, I'm already into things. All I do for most windows is I will do a rough scrape. So all the tools will be in the video description if you're interested in them. I don't want to talk about any of them too much. They're just the tools that you need for the job. And we've gone over them a bunch before. So all we're doing now is basically cleaning the glass for installation. You can have dirt that sits up here, which is why a clay bar can be handy. You'll also take like a towel, go over the top edge too. They're good at picking up little specks, stuff like that. But get the glass clean. There's a lot of people that will over clean the glass. We don't want to do that. We have a lot of windows to do. We don't want to waste too much time. So efficiency is king. Efficiency with quality is king. So then you take your hand squeegee, squeegee all that down, grab a, what should we use? We'll use this little guy. Sweep down the edges. Now you should be pretty okay to just go from here. Sometimes I like to just do it one more time to be extra sure. But we rough scraped it. We clay barred / wiped off the top edge. We squeegee everything down. Swipe your edges. And then we should be ready to go. That's literally all we have to do for cleaning. Flush your edges. Gives you a good wet surface to slide the tint around. And then when it comes to two-staging, it's like we don't have a lot of time, so I can't slow down too much. But we need to peel our edge. I usually do that with just nibbling the edge really quick. And what we want to do is pull the liner down to a lower spot on the window. So sometimes I'll say like half-half. You can go a little bit farther down depending on how much room you have on here. But you need the liner to be straight across. That'll make installing it much easier. Now when we pick it up, we don't pick it up on the tint thing. We pick just the film up, take your hand, put it right where that liner is, scoop it up, so that gives you a nice like even weight distribution. And you take it from here and then do one of these guys. So look, we haven't put our fingers on any of the adhesive. We're just picking it up and we're gonna roll it onto the glass here. Now, keep that edge away from your sides because we cut our pattern so it would be bigger. Take the tint portion of it, roll it up right to underneath where that liner edge is. You see that? That's where we want to get it. The biggest secret to keeping contamination low in your windows is to not fight with it and keep everything smooth and flat on this edge. So a good example of that is when we come over to the other side, we're gonna create a little roll in our film, get this to lay on the glass, fold it up right beneath that liner, and again, it's flat against the glass and it's smooth when we press it forward. That's pretty much it. We didn't fight with it, we didn't struggle, just nice, smooth. There's times when it will bind up on you. There's times you'll see it's a pain in the ass, depending on the seals that you got, depending on just conditions for the day. But that's really what the top half of your installation should look like. The more you fight with it, the more dirt you're gonna have. I heard something with bottom loading, you don't need to take every door panel off. No, you just need to get the seal out of the way. So if every car was easy to take the seal out of, then everybody would be doing bottom loading. The problem is you're gonna run into much more difficult cars, much more expensive cars, and some of them don't take apart that easily. So this is a more universal approach to tinting. It's not the right way to do it, it's just my way and a lot of other people's way of doing it. So we took a little edge, this is a tri-edge card, swiped up the sides, get everything to lock in place. You mainly wanna worry about here. You don't have to squeegee all this because we're gonna pick the film up a little bit. You want it to lock in place up to there, get that edge nice and close, and you're ready to roll up your window. Now we pull back the liner, spray it out. I like to do it like a little bit of a flushing thing, like a little wave. So I'll start in the middle, create a sweep, sweep it the other way too. That way it gets all the dirt that just got pulled up with the window, you flush it down. Now when you pull this out, we don't want to pull any creases into it. So create a roll and basically pull it out, kind of like in a little roll taco shape. Keep your hand where that liner connects. And then when you get to the side, you kind of do the same thing, pull it back this way. And then there you go. You have your ends rolled in, you have this kind of resting. Throw that away. Oh, we missed. And then we can do the same thing, we can flush it out just a little bit more. The flushiness is up to you. If you don't want to spray that much, that's fine. And then for tucking the corners, this is a must. This is the shank. This makes your life easier. You just take it. Let's make sure that's wet. And then all we have is, because we got this little plastic in the way, there we go. Get that on the glass. Again, we keep our edges flat. Pull back the seal, and then just tuck that in. And now look, you see that? You see how this is all like, this would fall in if this panel wasn't in the way. So then we take it and we create this little roll and we pick the whole thing up. And then sweep it down this way and it pulls everything to want to go down. So then it's a matter of just finessing it down into that bottom seal. These ones are a little bit easier. Like I said, this is pretty middle of the road for a car. This isn't the tightest seal in the world. It's actually pretty low, pretty straightforward on a Fusion. Other ones are going to be a little bit more difficult. Some of them are going to be even easier than that, but that is the gist of how to two-stage a window. From there, it's just a matter of squeegeeing everything out and putting the shank in the wrong pocket. So sweep down. If you get one of these, you see this roll here, this part moved in, this part moved in, this is still butting up against the glass. Be careful, be very careful. Squeegee down and keep an eye on how it binds up. Sometimes the film might grab there and it just rolls in and creases itself. That is possible, but if you did everything properly and the tint gods were on your side, everything should be okay. So that's basically it. That's how to two-stage, basically any window. From there, it's just, you know, making sure everything's all squeegeed out. Once you got everything tucked in, that's the hardest part. Then it's, you go over it, you see if you have any spots that you might need to touch up. The only things that aren't great about the two-stage method is sometimes they come with teeny little folds here, depending on the tightness of the seal. But your technique will determine whether or not you have that, and also a little bit of the window that you're dealing with. If you heat them up and press them out, you'll be fine. So now we got to do that 3 more times on the car, right? So we got to be quick about it. All right, do we have any film scraps? 36, this looks like it's meant for the other side. So that's actually, we're gonna turn that into a video, we're gonna post it on the channel. So that's why we over-explained a lot of things. I hope you guys liked. We should probably put on the back window too. Is this good? This is good. These quarter windows, I'm not a huge fan of. These are like my least favorite part about this entire car. They're not hard, they're just tedious. You have to like slow down. You have to make sure all your cuts are pretty precise. A Chevy 3500, tried to two-stage it. Well, if you just need to get past this. So just make sure it's like an 1/8 inch past your border, the rubber border, and you'll be fine. You don't have to go crazier than that. So this, I'm gonna take this extra here. Stay. There we go. Do you do a lot of marketing? Not really. I'm not super busy right now though. I do live streams. And then I try and turn that into other things. And then the regular run-of-the-mill pictures of the work and tags and stuff like that. Which, I'll be honest, if you're talking about platform to platform, you 100% need to pay to boost things on Facebook if you're a business. They don't get any organic traffic. I mean, you could probably be creative and share some stuff to like other groups and whatnot, but I don't know. It's tough, man. If you're just posting on your page, Facebook isn't going to feed that out to other people, at least hardly any. And then if you're a tint company and you've asked other tint companies to like your page, that's not a good thing for your business either. You want relevant people to like what you do, and you do that by a little bit of guerrilla marketing, a little bit of word of mouth. All right, let's see if we cut this out right. Da, 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 da. 3:30 a.m. Korean time. Dang! Yeah, you guys are on the other side of the world. Where's the flat out? Super chat. Was that his super chat form? Oh my god. Thank you. I appreciate that. I will get to the super chats in just a second if I missed any too. I have the flat out. The only reason we're using an orange crush is because I wore out my flat out, and then I picked up the orange crush because I had some spares. I had like I have 3 or 4 different types of spares, and people like the orange crush. I remember I liked it for a certain reason, and then I stopped using it, and now I'm reminded why I stopped using it. I just forgot. I just forgot why I stopped using it. It leaves, like you saw me rubbing this window a little bit more, it leaves little rubber marks when you squeegee too hard. And it's a softer squeegee, so you have to press harder. But they wipe off, but they freak me out. They look like they're going to be scratches or something. Yay, we did it. We did it. We did it. So that's 1 down. Hey! Cannon. All right, we'll answer a couple. We'll answer a couple. I appreciate everybody that super chatted. John with the 5. That was definitely one I missed while I was talking about the window. Impressive to see an installer solo with an audio electronics guy pulling panels for you. I want to learn, but our local guy is scared to teach me. Yeah, it's hard to find somebody to teach you how to tint. But yeah, teaming up with a electronics guy to pull panels will definitely make installation a lot easier. It's really those 2 things. Like if you're good at pulling panels, then yeah, you can absolutely bottom load. You just have to take everything apart all the time. I don't like doing that. So most of what I get is like fusions, domestic leases, stuff like that. So it's like there's not a lot that I would have to pull, if anything. Where's the flat out copying alligator? That was Mr. Chevy Man. With a 5. Like I said, we have them. We're just using the orange crush for right now. I haven't abandoned it. I still very much like the flat out. Thank you so much. And then Moses with the 10. Last time I asked about finding an enclosed space to wrap cars. I found one. I was about to give up, but you gave me some motivation. Oh, that's very cool. Dude, that's sweet. It can be annoying finding spaces. I had the same problem with this, and I'm in a much bigger space than I wanted to be, but sometimes you just gotta get that jump. Please try and get the owner's reaction today. I don't know. Maybe. Probably. I don't know. I feel weird about putting people on the spot like that, because they don't really know about me for this part. They just know me as a tint shop, so it's just something weird that dude does online. All right, let's get back to it. Thank you, guys. GoPro. Do you usually shrink... what? Oh, yeah. You shrink doors and back windows. The shrinking methods are going to be a little different, because you don't have to shrink very much with door windows. But yes, I shrink everything, including most quarter windows. You don't have to shrink most quarter windows. I do a little bit just in case something's gonna pop up though. It's all about risk to reward. So if I have little fingers popping up, I gotta heat them up, I gotta press them down. They're wet at that point. It's time consuming. And they possibly will suck up some dirt with them. So it takes 2 seconds to literally heat it up and shrink it just a little bit. So taking that 2 seconds up front versus wasting time down the road is something that I would much rather do. Same thing with door windows. There's some people that when they pull the panels, they don't have to shrink They don't have to shrink the doors necessarily. I've got seals and stuff in the way, so it's a good practice to shrink the doors. But there's always those doors that are a little bit more curved that throw you for a loop, and then again, if it sucks up dirt, that's always a chance to ruin your whole tint job. So it takes a couple seconds to shrink a window. We do the whole thing in under a minute. I'll spend 5 minutes trying to touch up a window. So, to staging this one. Again, we've got not so bad seals, but we have a bit of a curveball, and that's that little bevel. So we're squeegeeing and cleaning everything the same. You notice nothing's changed. If you guys look through literally every live stream, they're all gonna look the same. They do the same thing on like all door windows. They do the same thing on like all, pretty much every back window. The only thing that changes is the cars. Okay, so when we peel this liner on this beveled, cropped, cut window, whatever, the funky top edge thing, treat this all like one top edge. So you only have a little bit of space here, which can make installation a little bit annoying. This is much easier because you got a lot more space. So again, pick it up. You can pick it up on the film or both here, it doesn't really matter. Put your hand underneath right where that split is. Carry it over, make sure your door's open, and then zoop, you get it in that nice position where you can roll it onto the glass without having to touch the film. So I like to start with the bigger side. You'll notice this is opposite of what we did on the other one. We're doing the left. On the other door, the one right immediately in front of it, we did the back side. I usually like to just tackle the big side first and then worry about the little one after the fact. So create that little roll, keep that edge flat, and then tuck it in. Now this is going to tell us how far we need to go over, so we need to bring this a little bit more. And then there you go. And with some soapy water, this is going to be slip sliding all over the place. Which is handy, right? Because then you can maneuver it and get it in place. The more it sticks, the harder it's going to be to do that. Some people like that. I don't know why, but they do. So we're gonna make sure we're not right at the top, just a hairline gap. Again, worry about this space, not anything underneath it. Just a little snug, there we go. Should be better. So we don't really need to worry about that. That'll just help the window tack in place a little bit better. You don't need to squeegee it out yet. Just worry about your top. Make sure it's all locked in place. Roll it up. Bippity bop. And then when we pull the liner out, we don't have as much room to do it, but same principles apply. Sneak it out. Dang. Flush it out. Get this to lay flat. And then if it starts to bind up on you, give it a little wiggle. It's a pressure sensitive adhesive. So the more pressure you put against the film, against the glass, the more it's gonna stick. That's why as you squeegee it out, it puts pressure on the glass and can give you a bit of a hard time. We also majorly pulled that edge over because we wanted to compensate for how much this window shifts. Did we shrink this? Why does this not seem like we shrunk it? Did we forget? Did we do one side and not the other? Could be a little bit more shrunk. Something tells me we didn't do this side. We're still getting away with it. But you can see these start to pop up on you. If that's the case, in for a bad time. But look at where they're popping up and get them to like smooth out somewhere else. Evenly distribute it. Basically tells you that all your film is condensed together and you need to smooth it out. So keep an eye on it. And whatever happens, happens. Oh, where's my heat gun? Heat gun's over here. I wonder. Canon. Kendall with the 2. Thanks for the tax write-off. The tax write-off. Keep it up, man. Thank you. I appreciate that. I don't know how much you get to write off of that, but hey. Thanks, man. Where did you get the water hose set up? That is a tint keg setup. So you can find them at tintkeg.com/sundistributing. And then also Tint Depot sells them as well. Yay! Look at that. Nice blacked out shit. So one side is done, except for this back quarter. We're gonna get the quarter window film off of cutting out that back window. Let's take your little stool. Boo-doo-doo. Is it gonna keep going? Did it stop? Oh, it stopped. Ooh, we got lucky. Plotter software? Xpels or nothing. The close second and third, and I mean close, like they're still pretty far away, was Computer Cut or True Cut? True Cut was pretty good. They all have problems though. DAP was just the best, man. But if you're not an XPEL dealer, you're not getting DAP anymore. Film and vinyl designs, man, I had a real bad experience with them. They like oversized everything. Oh, we gotta hear it again. They're like, dude, their top edges drove me batshit crazy. So, basically, this part you would line up to the top, and then the very edges, they would swoop up. So you either brought the whole thing down, cut it beforehand, or you just dealt with the like horrendous, like it was close up here, it was close up there, and then it dipped way down in the middle. It was so dumb. That drove me insane. And then the back windows were like a smidge too short. So then they oversized everything by an inch, and everything became too big. Same thing with like Tint Tech, I don't think Tint Deck ever updates their old patterns, ever. Like, they had these short gaps on, like, the old Fusions, like, older than this, and when I went back and we had an old Fusion, they still had the same gaps. It's just like, how does this shit happen? I should start a half-baked pattern company. Because everybody still talks them up in the groups, no matter what. It's like, it's insane to me. How do you prevent creases on door windows? Well, if they're the little folds on the tight seals, sometimes you're just gonna have them a little bit, and then you can press them out, and you'll be fine. Heat them up, press them out. Yeah, I used Tint Tech for a long time. They were, like, that's how I would describe it. They were kind of okay. And it was just like, you get so used to using the software that you kind of forget about its quirks and problems, and you just adapt to using it. But then if you change, you have to start all over again. And they're all like, well, you can modify the patterns. And it's like, fuck, dude, it's $150 a month across the board pretty much with everybody. I shouldn't have to constantly tweak and adjust patterns if that's everything. That's literally everything that you provide. Okay, so again, for tucking this in, fold it here, right below where that liner is, and then you want to make sure it's flat on the glass. And then same thing here. Fold it up, leave it flat. It all happens pretty quickly, one smooth motion if it all goes well. If the glass is hot, if the seal is dry, or you're just having an extra tight seal and bad day, sometimes it'll bind up and give you some frustration. So it takes time to get there. But the more you practice, the better you'll be. You're talking about platters again? Yeah, these live streams are one big continuous loop. We're going to be talking about the same thing for a long time. Every once in a while, there's something new to talk about that's exciting, but that doesn't happen too often. So we just new person asking about platters. Here we go. You see how that all just zip? This all should just be zip, zip, zoom, and whatever that weirdo swoochy swoo. I don't know. I don't remember what those super chats were before, but they were weird. In like a previous stream. After you tint a window, can I roll it down afterwards? You should be able to. Still makes me cringe a little bit. Is it better to go to a school to learn all of this? It is for some. Let me give you the ideal circumstances for going to a school. Get some film, get some tools, practice at home on what you can and what you have, and then go take a class. Because you're gonna like follow some videos, look at what's out there, try and get at least a little comfortable with handling the film, trying to put patterns on, and then when you go to a class, you'll be prepared for the class. You're like, all right, I'm kind of having problems with everything. I need to speed up. I need some more guidance. And then you're gonna have somebody step in, show you some things, and it's just a lot more is gonna make sense. And it's gonna be way easier to teach you. So somebody asked if you can roll down the window. Yes, you should be able to just do that. Because one thing too is sometimes it's good to roll it down and check your top edges. But a properly installed pattern, it still freaks me out when I do that, like right after the fact, because you never know if there's just gonna be that little bit that catches too soon. But yeah, I used to freak out. I would like, you can't roll it down for a week. And then somebody would accidentally roll the window down, and I'd be like, I can't cover it. It's shit. What did you do? And then what changed my mind was there's this one day I went to, I tinted my front doors. I went to a drive-through, and then I immediately rolled down my windows. And I'm like, oh, I'm so dumb. I've been a stickler about this for so long. And I've been an ass to so many people about it. I need to probably be a little bit more understanding that people are people. And if they happen to roll their window down and ruin the window, well, guess what? It's good customer service to not charge them like $100 to redo that one window. I use a heat gun on the top edge to make sure it's tacked good. That will definitely help, especially if your seals are tighter. Because every once in a long while, I'll get these anomaly cars where the top corners are so tight that when you roll it up, if that slip solution's a little soapy and stuff, it'll cause it to bend. I'm looking for my... Where's my... What? Oh my God, it's there. I see it. Ah, got it. But yeah, I've had that happen. So if you ever, like, especially with like vent visors and stuff, give it a little bit of slack. Heat it up. And then roll the window up and you should be okay. I haven't had a top edge peel in a very long time though. What? I don't even understand that question. How much will it take me to dark glasses with certificate? I don't understand that question. Canon. I need to charge a thing real quick. This light. I need to plug this light in. Oh, somebody asked about this light. This is a Braun light. Oh! Alligator with the 5. If you put a shank in the top corner on the tight doors, the film will slide and not peel off the glass. # pro tip. Thank you, I appreciate that. That is not something I've done. I can see how that works though. The other thing that I'll do is also like I'll spray, so squeegee it out, you can heat it up. You can spray a little slip solution up in the top corner. If you're worried about them peeling, because that's, more lubrication. And then press a little bit on the glass. Push it away from the seal, and then it'll go up. So all those things. Thank you so much for the 5. I do that when I tint... I do that when I tint Macans. Ah, fuck you, man. I brought back bad memories. Thank you. I do appreciate it. GoPro. God, I hated that car. McCann. Oh, I did get a French press. I forgot it at home. I bought a grinder, a French press, and a hot water kettle to bring here. All that stuff on your head's gonna give you... I need all that stuff on my head so you guys can clearly see what's going on right now. The sweatshirt is beautiful. Oh, thanks. I'm rather fond of it. I like white. I really like white. And I would love to have more white things. The only problem is I have to be very careful about how we use it. Because if I take this to like a regular tint day, it's going to be trashed at the end. Plus there's so much, like, the cars, they're always dark. The tint, it's dark. We need some contrasting colors and stuff. So black is better to wear, but most people have dark cars. It's not a tumor. Yeah, so all the, like... I know, I've got a lot. The headset, all this shit makes me look crazy. But we rely on the GoPro for so much of the stream that anything to make it look better is like where we've come to. Because sometimes it desyncs so far, it becomes so stuttery that I don't even know it happened until after the stream. And we're at a point now where we need to clean it up. It needs to be, if it's going to be on YouTube, it needs to be watchable. Makes sense, right? Come on. Can you... I'm literally Google for the door panel covers. Do I need to get my own? Is that what this... I don't want to ship them. Fuck that. It's carpet shield. It's carpet shield, it's carpet shield, it's carpet shield. That's all it's ever, like, all we've used, all we've tried on stream is carpet shield. Nobody seems to have tried anything different, and this stuff works good enough for most people, so that's what it is. Door panel aid. It's big rolls. I'll tell Geo to stock it. How about that? I'll have a film company stock it. And now I have Tint Depot. Those ship big. I don't like shipping big things. I don't want to ship big things. What is that? So one reason I like a sharp, not sharp, but like, if you're using a plastic scraper, versus a scrub pad, right? So scrub pad, you can't feel the glass. You just scrub it down. This, if you happen to hit something, you will feel that you hit something. So there is something here and there's something here that we have to take off. There's a little bit of adhesive from probably like a dealer sticker or something. Not a big deal. In that case, I will then take a razor blade and I will go over the rest of the window. Just to make sure, because if there's adhesive in one spot, it could be hiding in another. What's the price on this job? $240. We've been installing a lot of color stable. Hopefully summer will bring it back up. What's the outside of your shop look like? Almost like I don't exist. I'm on the back side of a building with the sign on the door. So it's very uninviting. And that to me is good because I run on appointments. And if things are slow, I'm not here. I'm doing other things. So I treat this a lot like I treated my at-home garage. So I come in to do work when I have it, and I do some extra stuff. But other than that, if there's other things to be done, I'm out doing other things. Would you follow me on FB? You can join the group. That's the best thing. The problem with private messages is there's too many, and I'm really bad at answering everything. So I think too much about what I type out. I'm like, I'll talk for hours. That's a lot easier for me to do. But if I have to type out a thought, it takes me too long. But yeah, the group is a great resource. There's lots of people that are all pitching in, helping people out. So if you have lots of questions, I'll chime in on stuff here and there too. It's the window tint stuff group on Facebook. I should try that fan sprayer again. The most generic name possible. That's what people are searching, so that's why we did it. All right. See, we're a little overlap. So we're starting to stick. So if it sticks, I will then try and back out the window, wiggle it straight up and down, anything to keep it from bunching up. That is the trick. What's my normal stream time? Whenever I have a full car and the time to stream it. That is my stream time. So usually regular business hours, I try to shoot for anywhere from 10 to like 1 o'clock to go live. And if it doesn't happen that day, it doesn't happen that day. There's a lot of days where it doesn't happen that day. But that's what we aim for. And in the meantime, we also upload videos now. That's a thing. That's a thing we do on YouTube. What a novel idea. But you guys are helping a lot in actually making videos because you ask lots of questions and things, and I talk about them on stream, and now I take those and cut them into videos. I just thought that was a really lazy way of doing videos, but it turns out to be completely fine, so yay. Maybe it's the overproduction that goes into the stream, so that makes it okay. Uh-oh. Canon. Hello, Detroit Tint Studio. How can I help you? Oh. Canon. No. GoPro. Aha! Why did you pick Detroit? I'm in the Metro Detroit area. That is why we have Detroit. So if I did just the city name, anybody that watches on the channel would have no idea about where I'm located. It's only for local people. So it's like, it's the biggest, most iconic thing in my area, which is why we ended up doing it. Remember I said adhesive? Somehow we missed it. Or it got brought up with a seal when we rolled it up. But yeah, Detroit, Detroit in this area probably is not like you know, nobody's coming in the area because it's Detroit Tint Studio. So you're not wrong, but I did it for more, I did it for more, less confusion on the channel than most things. And I thought it was cooler than going like Sterling Heights window tint. This is lame. And the other problem with like picking a name that's a cool name is it's a lot, you're a lot less discoverable. So being found when people are looking for the service is very important. Same thing goes with the way that I title a lot of things. All right. We have this little corner here that I'm worried we're going to crease the fuck out of it. It's just a little end, so if we can free it up from imminent disaster, we should be okay. Did we do it? We will check. Ooh, we did it. Okay, cool. Like earlier, we went super far on pulling these over. So when you roll the window down, it doesn't, but you don't need to go that far over down here. And that's the problem. So usually the bottoms aren't tucked in that far, but on this one we did it. Any cars where there's like you have to remove the panels? Range Rovers, I don't want to, so I don't pull the panels, but there's like the Range Rover Sport. That one has hydrophobic windows and really tight bottom corners. I used to have no problem, and then somebody brought it up in the group, and then I swear to God, everyone that I've had since then has been super tight in that corner. So I would over round them, and then sometimes I'll remove that seal. Not fun. Not fun at all. But to do that, I do not take apart the whole panel. So I'm trying to remember if there's anything in recent memory that had to be completely taken apart. I don't think so. So like when I say this is a pretty universal way of tinting, it's a pretty universal way of tinting, just like nothing has to really come off. Because that's no fun. No fun. Alright, what do we gotta do now? We need film roll. So we gotta do this back window. Okay, so can we continue on part 2 of the Glass Aid saga? So we're charging up that light. We gotta shrink this, and then we gotta cut it, we gotta install it. We'll get some quarter windows out of it. But I think we did a dedicated video with a Fusion back window recently. (2015) Corolla? Really, a Corolla? I don't get many Toyotas, but I'm surprised to hear that a Corolla would be that annoying, because usually like Hondas and Toyotas are pretty easy in terms of like seals. Did we get enough for the quarters? Maybe we're running a little slim. We'll see. We should, though. We usually do. I don't know why it would be any different now. Oh yeah, we got plenty. Good deal. What type of film is standard for your customers? Most people end up just going with color stable dyed. Most people don't value the heat rejection that I've talked to. But that's not to say there's shops that don't do that around here. It's just the clients right now are usually going for just a tint job. I get a little bit more. I was getting quite a few of the carbon ones though, in the warmer weather, and also because of the video that I put out before, and I keep reminding myself of that every time I'm asked about it, and I forget after the fact. So I need to do another video because part of it is the way a client gets introduced to your business. So if he's searching around, this is what I've noticed from experience so far. If somebody is searching around for tint shops, they're usually just looking for tint jobs. Meaning they don't have a lot of attachment to the film, the business. They're more about price, and they're more about convenience. So if they can find a halfway decent shop, get it done for as cheap as possible, boom, that is what they're about. If somebody is researching about window tint and they stumble across one of your videos that talks about window tint, they have been way more inclined to go with a better option because they are more of a value-driven customer. Well, not like cheap value, but like they care a little bit more about what is being installed, where they're going, and they're not as urgent about getting it done. So there's more people that just want to get it done for as cheap as possible, more supply there, less people that want to get it done at a more expensive price, or at least those people that are already there already have places that they currently go to. So you're trying to take away business from other people. That's been pretty clear cut. Of what's been happening here. So it all depends on how they get introduced to the business, which is why Facebook ads never really worked out very well for us. Every once in a while it would. What's your favorite color stable dyed film? GeoShield. GeoShield Pro Classic. It shrinks fast. The only thing that throws me off is the adhesive can be a little aggressive. So in the summertime, it can be a little bit more of a pain to try and get it to line up in place. But looks great, shrinks great, solid company behind it, comes from a solid manufacturer. And it's what we're shrinking right now. It's kind of a challenge to like, I really like Avery Dennison NR. That was also like high up on the list. That also had a kind of strong adhesive to it. Like it would grab a lot more aggressively than even their NR Pro. But it had the one little bonus of peeling clean off the glass. This stuff will leave all the glue behind. So that kind of sucks. If you happen to have, like, you know, somebody wants a window redone, somebody got pulled over, needs them removed, whatever the case, removing it down the road is tougher with this film than Avery. But Avery's upgrades, like the carbon, I think is where Geo really shines. Because it's the clearest carbon that I've come across. And you still get the performance out of it. Any word on Lexan and if it holds up? It doesn't. The problem was the haze. There's one that people want me to try out. Lexan, the ones that I have, they look good, and I don't think longevity, like, I don't think it's really that much of an issue. But for somebody starting out, where it really is going to let you down is shrinking. Shrinking from here to here is okay. Shrinking Lexan from here to here takes way more heat. So something will look much simpler here on the channel, and then you'll try it and you'll wonder, like, why the fuck can't I shrink like that? In that case, it's the film. You don't need an expensive film to get started or shrink. That is just not a great one. Look at Tint Depot. They're 5-year charcoal, probably. It's pretty good. I'm going to change out this blade. 1. Yeah, I'm going to do this one. Would you say that the easiest tint? What would you say is the easiest tint to shrink? A lot of good brands have similar shrinking films. I don't really think. See, I used to think like that though. I used to be like, I wouldn't want to switch to film unless it was easier for me. But you have to look at it in a bigger picture. Geo Classic Pro Classic is a really, really good shrinking film. A lot of films from Guari are really good shrinking films, so those are great, and Avery Dennison was like a close second. Lumar is also good, yeah. Lumar ATC was a really fast shrinking film. But in terms of like price to performance, Lumar's just on the more expensive end of things, and they're not really like, I wouldn't say their film is better for being more expensive. It's just Lumar is more expensive. Okay, we're gonna do this real quick. GoPro. Okay, so now we have our back window all shrunk. You notice this line, this is where we put the glass aid tape. It's harder to see with Limo, but it is there. So we take this light. This is just a stick light from Harbor Freight. The brand name is Braun. You can also find it under different brand names at like Menards and stuff. But if you take a bright light and you angle it away from you, it brightens up the tape, and then you can see it while you cut on it. And we cut right in the middle or closer to the edge, like anywhere from the middle to the inside edge. And we're gonna do that all the way around as continuous as we can just to keep things going. So I can't see the inside edge of the ceramic border, but I know where that ceramic border is because I lined up glass aid right around that edge. So when I cut it in the middle of this, I get a nice 1/8 inch border all the way around. And the fact that this is white helps make up for that application time, because I realize it definitely takes time to put this on. So whatever time it takes to put on, I wanted to make that time up in another way, which is why this stuff is not black. So if you cut with the right pressure, you're shooting for the middle. Everything should peel clean. Sometimes you might have a little spot that binds up on you. It happens. It's going to be a little bit different from cutting directly on the glass, but this is going to be a safer way to do it. So then we peel it off. And then there we go. We have a nice pattern. We have a protected back window, and everything is all set to just polish up the edges, which I would always recommend after you cut your film, to then go and install it. So that's a quick summary of what Glass Aid is. I like it because it was a very quick and efficient thing to protect the glass and carry with me when I was jumping from place to place to place. If I have big glass boards, you could absolutely mark it with a Sharpie and then carry it over and cut it on a different surface. But if you want to leave everything in one place and still have an efficient way of cutting it all out, then you're either cutting immediately on glass or using the little button trick, or scratching it, or using Glass Aid. So hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one. There, good deal. People have been asking about that in a video, so we're gonna make it into a little video. Okay, so we got quarter windows cut. We got back window cut and shrunk. We got we need a couple of tools now. Oh, that's where I put my other clay bar. I put it on the bulldozer. I remember doing that. Film in the 90s was superior? No. I hear tons of nightmare stories about old dyed films, which is why they changed to metallized films, but then that would interfere with antennas. And then carbon and ceramics came out, but they're fuzzier because it was a new technology. Films are always making improvements, but there's companies that can cheap out on the materials they use, and price competition is definitely up there. Everybody's coming out with their own film brand, so Canon. This looks interesting. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Titanium tint sounds expensive. Would be pretty cool, but probably expensive. But then we could all sing that Titanium song. That's been out for too long. All right, what do we got to do? Everything's there. I came back here for a bit of a coffee break, for just a quick coffee break, and then we'll install it. How y'all doing? Y'all having fun? I know what I came here for, too. Oh. Whoa. All right, where are we on battery? Dang. Look, we got 3. This had 4. Now it has 3, so I can still keep going. So the GoPro battery dies too fast, so we had to hook up an external one, which kind of makes this a bit of a headache. But it's working okay. It's been flawless this whole time. So what else could go wrong? What are your thoughts on tinting with gloves? They make you look way more professional. They're just like, you can't feel the ends, but there are people that do it. They might give you a little bit more grip too, but I haven't tinted with gloves. You'd probably have to use tight ones, and then you can shrink with a glove too, but it's a different type of glove. Where can I get that hoodie? Check out Tint Wiz, their store. They should have these hoodies for sale. Hit them up. Let them know. But yeah, isn't this super clean? It's nice. I like it. It's white. It's going to get filthy very soon. GoPro. All right. So, we need to get in here. The only thing that I have not tried with this setup so far is tinting a back window with all this extra junk on my head. So let's see, do I gotta move this up a little bit more? Maybe a little bit. Pull the headrests, just those two. You don't really have to pull the middle. You can if you really want to. Yeah, see, look at this. They went all out. They got their own towels, too. I've also noticed it seems to change the color of the GoPro a little bit. It's not a white towel. It's like a off-white, so a bit of a yellow. So if this all of a sudden looks a little yellow, it's not my fault. All right. Prep for back window. Clay bar. Clay bar is your best friend. Use it like a scrub pad. Keep an eye out for any adhesive. But it's really good at grabbing in between. You see that? That's why. Clean. Use a scrub pad, and then use a clay bar, and you tell me which is doing a better job. Oh my God, this headset is heavy. So I'll admit, it's a little harder to dig in deep, but we can do it. Just turned down a Tesla Model 3. Those are intimidating, for sure. Most people that are calling and quoting, like, I quote 600 for the Model 3. You need a 60-inch roll for that back window. So it's kind of like a special order situation. All right, one more time. What's the cheapest you charge? $240. Which it probably should just be $250. I don't think that $10 really matters. But yeah, I'm pretty on par. That's where, you know, cars, there's a fair amount of shops that are charging less than that, and there's a handful of shops charging more than that. Whoa, my God. All right, head down farther. Where can I get clay bar? A handful of places. Links are in the description. So my tint stuff has the Glacé clay bars. Also Tint Depot carries them. And you can find clay bars, synthetic clay bars, you can find them locally. So you can find them at like a hardware store or a Walmart or something. Just go to the automotive section. Some of them stick a little bit more than others. So just keep that in mind. Like usually on hot glass, but they're all gonna do a pretty good job at cleaning. No reverse roll? Not on back windows. Back windows we carry. Oh my god. I heard windows crack easy on them too. Yeah, on the Model 3s they had some manufacturer defect, but that is something the manufacturer was taking care of. So if you cracked one, that's not on you. Tesla should be taking care of that. Another scary thing that I came across was people that were removing film off the Model 3s were literally pulling the defrosters off with them. So that kind of freaked me out. Just poorly manufactured. Tesla makes some impressive stuff, but they actually don't have the greatest build reputation right now. There's like a lot of manufacturer defects, paint defects, issues and whatnot. They were just introduced as a premium brand. So they got the right type of start. So a lot of this stuff kind of gets swept underneath the rug, but I hear they take care of people when they have issues, so there is that. Cool. Doing the door windows was not that difficult. Doing the back window with this headset, it's a little bit more of a challenge, I'd say. I stepped out of the car and it almost took it off. Dot matrix. The border is always going to be the same. There's something called dot tricks for like really severe top dot matrix borders, but those aren't as popular anymore. They don't really have like the big crazy here we go. They don't have the big crazy dot matrix borders anymore. Is there any reason you don't use a crop blade? No, not really. I like them better. I think at the time, the squared off ones were cheaper, and the blocky ones, you can, like, with a cropped one, you only have this edge. With the non-cropped ones, you could get away with using, like, this edge, or for the Blue Max ones, you basically have 4 edges that you can use. One more pass. We are all good. Oh, except for the quarters. We gotta finish those. I think we just have one little miffed corner. So we got to heat that up and press it out, but there's a lot of room to press that out. Other thing is this. We don't even have to get out of the car. But I get really tired of sitting like this, so sometimes I enjoy getting out of the car just for a break. But might as well get this done real quick. First thing I did when trying to unroll the film was cut myself 5 times. Yeah, tint paper cuts. They'll get ya. These happen to me from time to time. They're really dumb because they don't stop bleeding for a while. Any like razor blade or tint paper cut, it's like getting cut with a razor blade. They just don't stop. It's not that they hurt. It's just like, God, shit. Here's one. And then I'm pretty confident that we got everything out of here. So, yeah, and you're working with water, so it doesn't give it a chance to stop for quite a while. So you'll have like a tan color interior, and then you'll paper cut yourself, and then you're gonna leave like a mess over everything if you're not careful. It'll happen to me at like the beginning of a day. And then I'm just like, well, that's great. It's not the end. It's like the very beginning. So now you gotta go through the entire day. There's the quarters. Backlash, we got one little guy here. And we got one little guy here. So we will push those both out. And then we will be done. Gotta say, I'm doing a full car and then doing a windshield. The top of my ears hurt from this headset. What temperature? Is it too cold to tint? It's never too cold. I wouldn't tint outside in freezing cold weather, but you can tint all year round indoors and then pull it out into freezing weather and it'll be completely fine. Takes up to a week to dry out and it can stay negative that whole time, but it'll dry. That little guy, I wouldn't worry about that little guy. Forgot what that's from. That's from something, isn't it? I've heard that a bajillion times. Oh, this is tilted. Gotta tilt that. Super Troopers. Oh, yeah. That little guy. I wouldn't worry about that little guy. Yeah, I do remember now. It was a good movie. Probably have teeth marks on the film. So you're shifting it. People say bite. Yes, you're biting it, but you're just giving it a little shift. And if you do it in the right spot, it'll peel that edge. And then it's really easy to peel it. Has anybody said you look like Doc from Back to the Future with all that gear on your head? Nobody said it yet, but I've definitely thought it. The two people that came to mind was there's this guy from Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. He had that helmet on. And then, yeah, Doc Brown. Marty! Yeah. I'm at least not that old yet. So it doesn't seem like I'm completely deranged, but just kind of deranged. There we go. See? It's looking much better. We're gonna heat it up, let it dry out just a little bit more. We'll give it one more press down. Takes forever to tint outside. Yeah, you're fighting with too many things. You need control over your environment. It'll help a bunch. There's just too many things working against you. Just focus on getting any type of a physical space that you can work in. And that means, like, if you are mobile, work in somebody else's garage. Cool. And that's it. Oh yeah, we're gonna press this one down just a little bit more. My tint turns into a kite. Yeah, like, I don't have any fans and stuff blowing at the car. Sucks in the summertime, but it is what it is. Oh, what are you? Little guy here? Here we go. Ugh. Yeah, there's just too many things, like, with... I talk about this quite frequently from being asked. But there's two types of mobile. There's mobile where you're literally running around with no destination. Like, you're going from house to house. You're like true mobile. But in that case, you really need to take a pretty firm stance if you're new that if they don't have a space for you to tint in, then you can't do the work. You can try and make it happen outside, but you're working against a lot of things. Makes it really difficult. So, running around from house to house, tinting at other people's houses, you know, a lot of people don't have spaces big enough for you to work in. So it's another thing you're adding to your list, right? A potential client calls you and he's like, yo dog, I need my tint and I need it now. And you're like, all right, cool. I need a garage. And they're like, oh shit, I don't got one. That sucks. The other is like, yeah, let me get this little guy. Get that little guy. Where is he? There we go. No, come on. He's just right on the edge. There's that little fold. But like what I was saying, the other type of mobile is running from like shop to shop. And the nice thing about that is they know you, they work with you as best they can. They know you need a space. They will line up the work for you. They take a cut of the work, of course, but that can definitely be worth it because they make your life easy. So it's up to you. I would highly suggest partnering up with a shop. Doesn't have to be a tint shop. In fact, it's probably better that it's not a tint shop. If there's a company that relies on something else for their business, that means you usually can get better margins on tinting at that shop. If they are a tint shop, it's tough. Tint shop's got to make its money off of tint. So unless they have a really good program, a lot of times they don't have that extra wiggle room. What percent tint? We did 5. We went way dark. Alrighty. Oh, we gotta put those headrests in. We gotta put the headrests in, and we are done. Oh yeah, and wipe this too, huh? That's probably why the headrests aren't in. But dang, dude, she's clean. Super clean. %20 is the norm here from what it depends on the shop, but most shops sell 20% real easy. It's like, hey, factory trucks and SUV, 20%. It's a good darkness. They see it all the time and they're like, yep, okay, cool. Then you have 20 on the front, or 20 on the front, 5 on the back, 5 all the way around, or 35 on the front, 20 on the back. Most people don't go 35 all the way around. But a lot comes off to sales suggestions right in the beginning. If they start to steer people a certain way and they trust the shop, they're usually going to move in that direction. Cool. We can take a couple of pictures. What's the button trick? So the button trick is cool, but not something I actually ever got comfortable with. So anybody promoting the button trick will make the button trick sound like it's God's gift to window tinting. But so pros and cons. So we can pretend this is the button actually. So you would take a plastic button, a hard piece of plastic, so it'd just be that much. And then you light up the whole back window, you put your film on the glass, and then when you're ready to cut it, you put it right on the edge there, right? And you dig your blade in, and you drag it all the way around the glass, right? So it's not actually touching the glass anymore. So it's perfectly safe to move around the whole back window. The issue is the button slides in between the film and the glass. So you have to like start it there and keep continuously dragging it around. And you have to make sure that back window is still lit up really well, because sometimes this deck lid presses right against the back window, and when you're doing limo, it's really hard to even shine a light there, get limo, like pull it back, and so it's like, it works, but sometimes gravity is working against you, and it's another one of those things that takes that much more to learn. So it is a thing, people do like it, it's an old school trick, so give it a try. Let me know what you think. It's just not something I ever fell in love with. So Sharpie is the next easiest thing, but you need a big surface to cut it on. All right, I need my picture taking device. Here we go. Ooh, she looks good. I've had so many 5% pictures, or so many fusion pictures lately. I don't think there's anything I can do to make this stand out. Maybe just a good old side picture. Clean. Good deal. Three. Is that this one? 2? Oh, okay, there we go. Oh, I got a couple little guys right there, actually. Huh. Canon. So what happened? Did we die? No, we're still working. Hang on. Oh, wait, let me check. No, still good. All right, hang on. I know what happened. There's only one thing that it could be. There's only one thing. It's this. It's this right here. Give it 2 seconds. It'll go black again. Ta-da! Cam link. Every once in a while, the cam link likes to freeze. But thank you for waiting. Thank you for waiting until the end of the stream. Have you ever done double five? No. I've done 5 over factory. It's not a huge, believe me, it's just not much of a request out here. It's usually like, it's usually when you're in certain neighborhoods that people want to go 5 over 5. Canon. How's the transmitter working? It's working. It's presses down a little bit hard here. It's a lot of weight. It doesn't hurt my neck. It's just starts pressing down here, and then in a back window, it's a lot to kind of bobble back and forth. It is working though. So battery life is stellar, but we have this on it right now, and I want to figure out a way to get rid of that. So with back windows especially, it makes it tough. Just 2 doors and a windshield is fine. How much does that one go for? Oh, the transmitter was $650. Like, wireless HDMI is one of those expensive things that there's expensive solutions that work decent, and then there's cheap solutions which don't really seem to stay consistent. And we rely on it so much that I sprung for the newest, cheaper, decent solution. My bend box works great with the Sony, but for the GoPro it flicks. Oh, interesting. That's weird that it would be from camera to camera. I use a GoPro for the stability, so it gets expensive. Yeah. We were streaming right off the GoPro, but there was a lot of quality issues. 30 frames per second wasn't really a big deal, but it was very fuzzy in comparison. So this is going to be a lot more clear, especially in the after recordings too. It's just, yeah, I don't know. It's got its pros and cons, so. This is supposed to be about tint, not video quality. Yeah, but talking about this is part of what I like to do, so I do not care. The 60 makes a big difference? Yeah, more so than I thought it would. Yeah, fuck you. This is my channel. Glad I can make it to the stream. Stayed up all night again. Oh my god. We're like clear into the afternoon though. Alrighty. We're gonna have to probably run things to the end at this point. Yeah, but I don't know. It's got some pros and cons. I'm like, I want to keep it. I like it, but I just wish the battery situation was a little bit easier. There's always those people with those comments. Yeah, I know. It's like, it's kind of annoying to like not, like, it's going to get talked about on the stream. I don't care who drops off. It's something that I have to think a lot about and work on a lot in the background, that if I can't talk about it on stream, like, fuck that. I'm still working on the restream. Oh, yeah, real quick, with the restream comment before. So restream is like look, you have OBS, because we're at the end anyways. Let me bring this up real quick. Wow, what is this? All right, so this is my OBS screen. So we take this and we stream out to like YouTube, Facebook, or any other service that you would want to stream out to. But you take OBS, you stream to Restream, and then Restream rebroadcast your stream out to those services so you can stream more to more than one place than just YouTube. And I really like their chat aggregator, and it's got a pretty decent way of handling all that and reading them off on my headset. So I really like Restream for those features. But all your cameras and all that is still going to be through OBS. Restream is just the rebroadcaster. Change the title then, thanks. We are going to... Bye-bye. Sounds expensive. It's not that bad. Restream is like $50 a month. It depends on what you use it for. This is like a major part of everything that I do, so it's just business expense. I mean, we had to go pretty hard into streaming stuff. So what I noticed is, like, you know, tinting around from shop to shop, not having your own home base and whatnot, it's like, it's just, you have to put dedicated time and effort into doing it if you want to do it consistently, or else it's just never going to happen. It's too much of a hassle just to try and integrate it in a regular day-to-day. It's real tough. Unless you have somebody handling it for you, which then it costs money to have that person handling it for you anyways, too. So I have to make a new scene? No. You take your existing scenes. You're on OBS, and then you have your existing scenes, and then you're just changing where you stream to. So you go into your settings, go to the stream, and then forward that to the restreaming service, and then go into your restream profile, and then select the places that you want to stream. So everything's going to be the same on your OBS. You're not changing OBS at all except for where you stream to. So it helps if, like, I stream to here, I stream to Twitch, I stream to my Facebook group. There we go. How does your back window not bubble up? Because I've been tinting for a while. I don't know how to answer that question. So use better film. If it bubbles up over time, it's from cheap film. If you're having like little fingers and stuff popping in on the sides, you just got to shrink it better. Oh my God, you need to be timed out. Holy shit, we are getting some weirdo people. Wow, we just had some shitters in chat. Oh, so the stream key and change to the restream. Got it. Thank you, bot. Yeah, exactly. Yep, you changed your stream key. So if you're not streaming to Facebook and YouTube and some other services, restream really doesn't like help you out a whole bunch. It just happens to have a good chat thing with the text-to-speech. However, I would use it to restream to a couple of places and then also use their chat thing. And then they also have really good native recordings too. So it's got quite a few features. Dude, I don't know what. We just had 3 people. We hardly ever block people out of this channel, but fuck them. How do you wash the microfibers? Nothing special. I don't have any special microfiber wash or whatever. I just throw them into the wash with some detergent and then put them in the dryer. The only thing is don't run fabric softener in the dryer and keep the heat lower. That way they don't get ruined. Because you notice they'll feel greasy if you use fabric softener. Or no, like a dryer sheet. They'll feel greasy and stuff. It'll ruin the little fibers on them. So just dry them out with like lower heat. It takes a little longer, but yeah. Works out well. All right, we need to call out some super chats. We gotta cash this guy out. We are at the end of today. I don't know when we're going to have the next stream. Probably on Saturday. We should have one on Saturday. It's Thursday already. Alrighty, so big thanks to Dom, Alligator, Jonathan, Mr. Chevy Man, Moses, Kendall, and Alligator again for all the super chats. I greatly appreciate the support. And thank you to everybody that hung out with me today. It's always a good time. That's why we do them. It's more fun to just hang out and talk while we tint than just tint by myself. Shanks should be in stock pretty soon. So all my tools are coming back in stock pretty soon here at mytintstuff.com. So the Glassade bars and the rolls, those never go out of stock. All the little extra stuff is something that that sometimes will just run out of stock because it just takes a while to get. And I'm lazy sometimes. So we'll be getting some of those back in. In the meantime, too, there's also like Tint Depot and other places that will have them. What time Saturday? If it's not morning, it's going to be early afternoon. It's probably going to be about 12 o'clock. So thank you guys for hanging out, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.